Smoke bomb into the crowd. They disperse that crowd. It looks like that crowd is moving a little bit more to the west, and as they come over there, they'll end up near looks like.
Yeah, Captain Jeff, Captain Jeff, we're hearing from Baltimore police. They are saying the group is now walking southbound on Utah Street towards Paca Street, and they say avoid the area. The group remains aggressive. Again, I know that sometimes in our coverage we've been calling them protesters. I don't think that's the right word for them. We're going to call them the group, the aggressors. We're going to call this unrest because clearly that's what it is here today.
Okay. We also want to explain to okay, we're being told that we are going to, we're going to take a shot at, there we go, the CVS that is being looted. Again, this was the same group that moved south from Mandalman Mall. They were dispersing through some of the area streets. They broke into this CVS. They've been going in, coming back out. This is also not too far away from where that police car was set on fire. And just to give you some perspective, we're talking about coming out of Mandalman Mall, the area near Druid Hill Park. That's where several of the ambulances are set up to help the officers and other people who have been injured during this. But of course, people are saying this is not a reflection of, as Mary was just saying, the protesters protesting the whole situation and the investigation regarding Freddie Gray. This is an entirely different group.
And I think it's fair to say that a good part of our city is paralyzed, either watching this coverage or in fear of this group that is moving along city streets, not knowing what to expect. We have parts of downtown shut down. We know lots of businesses closed early. University of Maryland, Baltimore, T. Rowe Price, Venable. They sent all their workers home early today, not knowing what to expect. We're going to go to Derek Valcourt. He is live at City Hall. We know there's a police presence down there as well, Derek.
Yeah, we had some SWAT teams who about 20 minutes ago loaded in a van and started heading west in the city, presumably up to the activity that we've been seeing the chopper over all day. And then just in the last 5 minutes, teams of SWAT officers have returned to the front of City Hall, presumably as those group of troublemakers, frankly, heading south in the city toward the downtown area. We saw a lot of police officers suddenly rushing back out with the helmets, as you see here, back in front of City Hall to make sure there was a big visible presence. We are seeing a lot of police cars, a lot of sirens running through the downtown area. The good news is traffic is starting to slow down because there was a pretty big exodus from the city really early on today. As early as 2 o'clock, a lot of employers released their employees, told them it was okay to go home. But we are starting to get the sense that they are bracing for trouble to be heading downtown into the city, presumably near City Hall, near police headquarters, where there is a strong police presence. Roads are barricaded around city police headquarters right now, and as you can see, there are barricades out in front of City Hall. SWAT officers everywhere, and as you can imagine, some concern from a lot of residents that this could cause problems for businesses and the folks here in the downtown area. Back to you.
No, Derek, we just got word that the police are trying to push the protesters toward Druid Hill Park. We should also mention light rail stopped at Penn Station and Camden Yards. Something else of note, there's a game tonight, an Orioles game at Camden Yards. 30,000 some people who will be headed in that area, in that direction, and no word as to whether that game and first pitch will go on as scheduled.
Yeah, the team and the managers down there were monitoring everything that was going on to make a determination, because we know what happened Saturday night with the protests. So many of them powerful and peaceful throughout the day on Saturday, and at the very end turned violent with just factional groups around the city. And then all the fans at the O's game told to stay inside the stadium until the streets were secured.
You know, other people, several Maryland residents asking for Governor Hogan to step in, and very concerned about once things get dark, what's going to happen then, and is this going to get worse, and have they considered bringing in another force, perhaps the National Guard? This is happening on social media, where people are asking him, what are you going to do? Also wondering what Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake has to say about what's going on at this point. We're going to go back now to Sky Eye Chopper 13 and Captain Jeff. Captain Jeff, is that correct that they are moving the crowd toward Druid Hill Park?
Well, So many crowds right now. This is one small group that they're dealing with. You can see they're greatly outnumbered by the police here, but this is a group that's been troublesome from the beginning, and they've been advancing. The police sending out some smoke devices, throwing them at the crowd, and the crowd moves a little bit. So they're in Druid Hill Park. Now, a few minutes ago we showed you the trooper helicopter. They have left. They've gone to shock trauma with what we believe is an injured police officer, at least one. And you can see the line of police that moved away from Reisterstown Road down Liberty Heights. It's Liberty Heights right there. And they pushed this group back. Now the group doesn't look that huge compared to some of the other groups, but they do look like they are organized, or at least organizing along the trail here, and they're certainly not backing up. So we're keeping an eye on this. Now this is the closest group right now to Mondawmin Mall. The other groups have worked their way down to where we saw at North and Pennsylvania, where they set a vehicle on fire. They're looting a CVS. Now, right now, that looting, I believe, is still going on. There's only so many things that we can cover at once, and we started out where we were able to show you the whole picture from one shot to the point where we have to actually fly from one scene to a next. In fact, we're hearing about some stuff happening down near Utah, north of shock trauma, which when we get a break here, we're going to try to take a look for you as well.
All right, Captain Jeff, we are looking at some looting going on right now. Not exactly sure where this location is, but we have people carrying out boxes of food and supplies, whatever is in that business in that neighborhood, and people rushing to this site to loot.
We were talking about this. This is such a sad day for Baltimore. It is hard to watch this video. Everybody is disturbed by this. Baltimore police just saying now that they have been able to get some of the injured officers out of the area. They're now receiving medical treatment. We know several people have been hit with pepper spray, many innocent people. We know that the people use that bus stop where so many students gathered this afternoon. This is disrupting everybody's evening commute.
And that was the back of CVS. So we know there was looting in the front, and then that was the back of the CVS, again, not far from Mondawmin Mall. But people continue to be attracted to this area. I'm sure police are well aware of it. Not sure when and how they respond to this situation at all. But, you know, on social media, you get people posting things. What does this solve? Both throwing rocks and bricks at police, and then looting as the eyes of the nation watch what's happening in Baltimore today. But it's easy to see that this is not directly related to Freddie Gray, but it is just part of the big picture of this today. Freddie Gray was laid to rest. His family specifically asked for no protest today, to remain peaceful.
Right.
We saw his sister Frederica on Saturday just say, please, no violence. Freddie would never want violence. It's not who he is or who he was. And so this has just got to be heartbreak for the family, as well as they hear about what's going on as they laid their child, their son, their brother to rest today.
Reverend Jamal Bryant just arriving on Gwynns Falls now, and he has been telling reporters that this violence in Northwest Baltimore is disrespectful to the family. It's disrespectful to the citizens of Baltimore. They do not condone this activity. We're going to go back now to Christy Aletto, standing by live on the ground. Christy, what's happening?
So we moved back from where we were originally standing the last time we spoke. We're again still at the intersection of Liberty Heights Avenue and Reisterstown Road. I really want to show you from the vantage point of down here, that black smoke. That is what Captain Jeff Long has been talking about. And we can even see it, and we are not close at all. We are again by Mondawmin Mall, and we can see the black smoke, I guess, of that police car that is burning on fire. You can see it from where we're standing. Again, this intersection is blocked off. There's a line of police down there by Gwynn Falls. And again, over where we're standing, you can see the officers have made their way up into this grassy knoll. That is where a lot of the rioters were hurling rocks and bricks at the officers. Again, you saw how forceful those items, those objects were that they were throwing, because we showed you an hour ago that shield, that police shield that had literally snapped in half. We also showed you those live pictures of one of the officers who was injured and then had to be rushed away in an ambulance. So again, it's not very safe. We're taking a step back just because we don't know what they're going to spray into the air. And unfortunately, even if you are very far away from the direction in which the officers are spraying, if it's tear gas or pepper spray, just because of the wind, and you never know when the wind's going to decide to blow. It can blow it in your direction, and then you can get hurt. So we're definitely staying a lot further away than we were before. And then also, you can just see that it's pretty empty right here. Again, they're not letting people go through this intersection, so that definitely impacts rush hour. But it's not the chaotic scene that we saw, I would say, 30 minutes ago, but there's still a lot of police activity here.
All right, Christy, thank you. We're going to go back up to Sky Chopper 13 with Captain Jeff Long. We see a very large police vehicle there and other police cars. Jeff, where is that exactly?
This is on Utah, so we're a couple blocks north of Camden Yards here, about 4 blocks north. That's Anne Arundel County Police Command Center there on Utah, with several police vehicles. And the police vehicles are on this block here, which is up near Saratoga, I believe. And then about 4 blocks ahead of them, another group of police cars and police on foot. Now, we're still looking around to see if there's any actual activity, although we did hear that there was some looting. We aren't seeing that right now. They may have dispersed them, but we're going to stick around here for a little bit and keep an eye on that. But if this is true, this is a group that's approaching Camden Yards, which is where we do not want this to happen right now.
And according to the Orioles, they are monitoring this as well to determine whether or not they are going to throw out that first pitch tonight at 7 o'clock. We're getting word that there are 40 more cruisers arriving on the scene. We know that Prince George's County Police has also arrived in Baltimore this evening. Captain Jeff, are you seeing them come in as well? Are those cruisers?
We've seen some of them. There's just so many police officers down there that once you get from this angle, you can't really tell who's who until you see their vehicle. But we are seeing the police helicopter in use quite a bit. Now, this group of police officers in front of the Hippodrome right now, and we're just sort of looking around to try to figure out what they're standing off against right now.
Right. Well, I know that they shut down Lexington Market, and I think maybe this is just a precautionary stance right there. We know Maryland State Police also have 42 troopers assisting. Another 40 are going to be deployed later tonight as they try to protect the city.
We're also getting word, too, that people are looting businesses in the area of West North Avenue now and Pennsylvania Avenue, and that's according to Baltimore police. We've been showing you that CVS downtown on Saturday night, some area businesses, a 7-Eleven, somebody tried to break into the Michael Kors store at the Gallery, and now reports, according to police, West North Avenue, Pennsylvania Avenue. We'll try to get you some shots of that area as well.
And, earlier today at about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, many major businesses in the downtown area dismissed its workforce. It's 1,200 people who work for T. Rowe Price. They were told to go home, and T. Rowe Price locked its doors. Venable, a very large law firm, did the same. They sent their workers home. We know Lexington Market was closed, University of Maryland, Baltimore. People got in their cars and they got out of downtown, not knowing what the situation was going to be in just a few hours from now. But certainly there are still many, many people in the downtown area. And I think what police are trying to do, as we said, we're trying to get people back up to the Druid Hill area, some of these rioters or some of this group that was aggressive towards them earlier.
Now, the smoke that you're seeing could perhaps be from a police van from the Transit Authority set on fire. Maryland Department of Transportation, another vehicle set on fire. I'm not sure if that's the smoke that we're seeing there, but we do have photos on CBSBaltimore.com that you can reference for those. Yep, there as he pushes in a little bit closer. Yeah, so that is that police van from Transit Authority that is on fire. And just to give you perspective, that's Pennsylvania and North Avenue, and that is where we're told that people are looting some of the stores in that neighborhood.
Let's go to Christy Aletto. She's closer to the scene near Mondama Mall. She has Senator Catherine Pugh with her. Christy?
Yeah, Mary, Senator Pugh just arrived here, and she wanted to talk about, how all of this unfolded. I mean, what do you make of this situation? This is happening hours after Freddie Gray was put into the ground, and his family asked them not to do anything.
The family has asked for peace, and what I want to say to Baltimore and to the members of our district, please call your children, because what we see out here are a lot of young children. Call your children, make sure that they're coming home, because this violence needs to stop. What the family of Freddie Gray has asked is that there be peace in the streets today, and that even when we begin to protest again, and we know that people are looking for justice, let's do this peacefully. We see cars being bombed. I mean, this does not make any sense. We have Mondawmin Mall here that many of us have worked hard to get a supermarket in our communities, and we know that the family of Freddie Gray is hurting right now, as we all are hurting here in Baltimore. We all want the answers, and we want to give the federal investigation enough time to recover the information that we need in order to move forward. We've been talking about what needs to take place at the state level. We've got the body cameras moving forward, but more importantly, we know that there needs to be some cultural competency as it relates to the police department. We know that we hire police to protect and serve and not to protect and attack. We know that the majority of the police do protect our communities, but at the same time, there's a lot that needs to be done in terms of psychological testing on an ongoing basis to make sure that people understand, police specifically, because I think sometimes people become incensed to some of the activities that they have to be involved in on a regular basis. But this is about community.
Let's talk about how, like you said, a lot of people live here, but it's almost, they're destroying their own community. Is this not how, this is counterproductive?
This is counterproductive, and as I said, we've worked so hard to get a Mondawmin Mall up to par in terms of malls in the community. We want to make sure that we can continue to come into our neighborhoods and shop. We want people to understand that all of us care about our communities, and you all know you were at the funeral today. The family has asked for peace. The family has asked us not to demonstrate in the street in a very violent way. Peaceful demonstrations, like Martin Luther King Jr. said, that is the way to exercise your rights out here in the street. We are going to make sure that justice happens for Freddie Gray and any other person who comes up against the police in a negative way. And we are sure that this is going to continue to move forward in a positive way. But the only way that happens, and I just want to say to the parents, please call your children, make sure they're coming home, help them to understand that violence is not the way, that many of us, our ancestors have worked so hard to get us to where we should be. And let me tell you, exercising the right to vote helps us to get to where we want to be. And importantly, let's protect our neighborhood. I'm asking everybody out there, protect our neighborhood. Understand that we worked hard for this, and that the family of Freddie Gray has said, please do not be violent in this protest. Help the community to understand that we are very upset, many of us. This is not something that just happened to Freddie Gray. This is not just happening in Baltimore City. This is happening throughout the country. And so I am also the president of the National Black Caucus of State Legislators, and we're calling for more understanding between police and community. America has a problem as it relates to race, and we're going to discuss those problems.
But this is not the way
But this is not the way to do it. I'm looking down the street seeing smoke, cars being burned in our neighborhoods. This is not the way. And so I'm asking people in Baltimore, please, let's quell the violence. If we're going to protest, we can begin tomorrow, but let's do it in a peaceful way, because that is the only way that the public gets to see that, one, we care about our city, two, we care about violence against our people, and we can do better than what's being done today. So please, parents, get your children. Let's make sure we're doing the right thing by our communities.
Thank you, Senator
Thank you
Pugh.
so much.
Thank you. And I did speak to a lot of people here, and I just spoke to a person that was a college student. He told me he was a college student that was out here. So again, I don't want to speculate about who's out here, but I did speak to a handful of Baltimore City high school students. Not to mention, I spoke to a college student that was here. So again, a lot of the people here, I would say, are minors or underage, not adults. But then I'm sure there are other people who are adults here. But if you do have children here, you've heard it from Senator Pugh, please call them and ask them to go home, because this is not a safe environment to be in. Back to you.
Christy, thank you so much. Some powerful words from Senator Pugh tonight. All of it makes sense as we continue to watch some of the pictures of the looting at this CVS right now. I know people at home are saying, where are the police? Why aren't they responding to this? Well, they're holding positions in different areas of the city, and I'm sure once they can, they will respond to that situation there. Some more powerful words just into our newsroom from Pastor Jamal Bryant. He is the pastor at Empowerment Temple, gave a very powerful and emotional eulogy today at Freddie Gray's funeral. Let's hear what he had to say. He's on the scene there right now.
Violence is not the answer for justice.
Pastor, you're saying this is a peaceful protest, but we've seen people, demonstrators, agitators, however you want to refer to them, throw rocks, bricks.
No, today what has happened this afternoon is not peaceful, and it does not reflect the spirit and the heart of this movement. This is a movement of peace. We're calling for justice, not for vengeance and not for violence. This does not represent the Gray family, nor does it represent the last 7 days of peaceful protest. And so we're asking all of those who are participating to go back home. Tomorrow we start afresh and anew and stay focused on justice for this family and justice for Baltimore.
All right, that was Pastor Jamal Bryant. He has really been the forefront of all of the peaceful protests that have happened across our city and is urging this to stop tonight.
We've been telling you several police cars have been set on fire, a van. Now we're getting word that a car, a civilian vehicle, has been set on fire. Baltimore police are now asking that all parents locate their children and bring them home. They are saying that several juveniles, part of these aggressive groups, please call your children. Also, as Catherine Pugh was saying as well, make sure that they come home this evening. A big concern for many residents, what happens as it starts to get dark? What's going to happen? Are more people going to come out? And how are we going to make sure that the city's streets are safe and that we don't see more looting?
Right, which we're watching live now from Sky Chapter 13. It looks like there are a row of boxes, a small fire, and they're trying to create something. Let's go back up to Captain Jeff Long and get his perspective on this for us. Captain Jeff?
This is a CVS that they've been looting for a long time now. They're still looting it, and you can see they've thrown some, we can't really tell what it is, but it looks like some things that may have come out of that grocery store, and there is a small fire. This is on Pennsylvania Avenue at North. This has kind of been the hotbed of activity for some time now. This is where there's still two vehicle fires going on. Maryland Transportation Authority police vehicles, a car and a van, both on fire. The fire department was here. They did manage to get one of them out. The tires were continuing to burn, and at some point the fire department just had to leave. So those vehicles continue to burn. Black smoke visible from clear over on the other side of the city, and looters still here at this intersection. Every once in a while somebody goes into CVS and people come out, and the interesting or the scary thing about this is that is a drugstore. There is a pharmacy in there. When they're looting a 7-Eleven and they're taking bags of Doritos and some sodas, that's one thing. But when you've got an open store and it does not appear as though anybody's stopping them from coming in and out, there's some dangerous items that could be coming out of that store.
All right, Captain Jeff, thank you. Again, police are asking for parents to please bring their children home. Police say they don't want anyone to get hurt. They're asking parents to contact their children and try to get them home.
Now, if you're just tuning in, the reason why police are appealing to parents specifically, many of these children had plans, I say children, teenagers, had plans to meet outside of Endowment Mall today at 3 o'clock. They were going to march through the city. We do have a statement from Baltimore City Schools. They're saying we are communicating with each one of our school leaders around effective instructional strategies to heighten student awareness and understanding of social justices or social justice issues. They are deeply concerned about students and the community. They're hoping to treat this as a teachable moment, but of course they say that they're vigilant and supporting for all the city's young people. But again, that's why we were seeing so many students in backpacks, and that many of them had nothing to do with the Freddie Gray funeral services earlier today. This was an organized group that was meeting this afternoon at 3 o'clock.
How frustrating, though, to just sit here and watch the looting. Apparently on the other side of the CVS, there's somebody just backed up their car and they're just loading things into it. I mean, as a citizen of Baltimore City and a resident of Baltimore City, it's tough to watch this, and that, you know, at this point, police they know this is going on. They've got their choppers up, and they're just trying to deal with too many other situations. For them right now, this must not be, you know, the highest priority in terms of safety and its residents and its citizens. But this is just sad and hard to watch that it's just happening.
Right. We live here. We all live here. The police live here. Everyone's here. We're going to go back to Megan McCorkle now. And Megan, you had sent a picture out earlier talking about all of the ambulances that were lining up and emergency vehicles because there were so many people injured.
Yeah, Jess, we are live in Druid Hill Park, and this is where the fire and EMS crews are staging. And there are lines of ambulances. We do have a couple fire trucks, and every now and then they will go out. We saw one of the fire trucks go out when there were reports of car fires in this area. There's also a baseball field here in Druid Hill Park, and that's where we saw the medevac helicopter land about 25 minutes ago. They loaded somebody and took off. Obviously, someone was injured. We know at least 7 police officers have been injured, including broken bones. We know that one officer was unconscious. Now, we are a few blocks away from Mondawmin Mall, so we haven't seen any of the crowds move this way. But one of the fire officials did tell that police were trying to at least move some of those crowds back here, back towards the park. In fact, he told us at some point they would tell us it's time to go and that we need to go, because there is a lot of tension here about safety for everybody in this area. A lot of the roads are shut down, and I'll tell you, I've seen some of the drivers stopping, pulling over to the side of the road. I saw one woman go up to one of the firefighters and say, I need to get home. How can I get home that I won't run into these crowds, that nothing will happen to me? A lot of people are really concerned, and I heard the fire official tell her, listen, if you are driving home and you see those crowds coming at you, you put your car in reverse and you get out of there. That's how dangerous people are thinking this is at this point. Right now we're seeing one of the ambulances leaving, dispatching to one of the areas, and I can tell you we are seeing some really thick black smoke coming into the air. We worried that there was a car fire near Auchentrolley Terrace. It does look like there is some sort of fire, and they are dispatching there right now. We'll continue following it from here. Back to you guys.
All right, Megan, thank you. We're going to go right up to Sky Chopper 13 over a car fire. Captain Jeff?
We're trying to find the location for you here. This is just across from Mondawmin. This looks like a civilian car out in front of a residence, fully engulfed in flames. We just saw this. Now, we were over Pennsylvania and North, where Baltimore City Police helicopter was just calling in another helicopter to go over there and check it out because the crowd is growing. So it doesn't. Whoa, that car just looks like the battery just blew up on that car. So we're gonna kind of get a wide shot and work our way back down Reisterstown Road, which will turn into Pennsylvania, and then when we get to Pennsylvania, we'll show you there's still a fire going there. That fire is the one that's been going for a while here. 2 Maryland Department of Transportation Authority police vehicles, a car and a van, and there we go. Just keep moving down towards Pennsylvania Avenue where it meets up with North. There's a huge crowd on Pennsylvania Avenue, which we're going to push into now. You'll see that. Now, this is what is concerning the police right now. Very, very large crowd over here by where the looting is taking place at the CVS. This is becoming a very big concern for the police here. It's obviously going to be a concern for anybody that's in this area that is not involved with this. Residents and business owners in this area should be very concerned. There's a police car down there. It looks like that police car is being surrounded. We're going to okay, that police car was damaged a little bit earlier, and we were watching when that happened, but they're back on that.
And Captain Jeff, what location is that? Is that Franklin and Paca? Or is that Utah?
This location is that's North Avenue, and at the top of your screen is where Pennsylvania Avenue crosses north, and right there on the left side of your screen is the CVS that has been being looted. Okay. And we saw a lot of people coming out of the back exit of that CVS with items, people going in the front door, coming out the back door. Now, there's a civilian vehicle on the sidewalk in front of the store. To see what they're up to, but this is also the area where those 2 vehicles are continuing to burn, This is right now, as far as we can tell, this is the epicenter of all the problems that are going on in West Baltimore right now.
And how far are police away from this right now?
The closest police contingency is about a half a block up on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Not far away.
You can see them. Not far away at all, but they have not moved. They've been there. They were here before we went to go get fuel, which was about an hour and a half ago. About an hour ago maybe, and they have not moved at all, standing their ground. When they do start to move, it'll be a huge scattering of people, but they're going to mass up somewhere else. But even though you've got all these people here on the corner that are looting the CVS, you've got this other group of people surrounding this police car, and it's when these large groups